morning.
Good morning, students. This morning, I want to discuss textile fibers with you. Last week, we discussed about textile technology. What is it? And we learned it's a comprehensive academic program that prepares students for global business. We also learned about the competences that you are required to have, the virtues that you are supposed to be observant, you are supposed to be creative and innovative. And that links us to critical thinking. And we learn that critical thinkers see problems as opportunities. This morning, I want us to discuss about textile fibers. If you talk of textile fibers, what are textile fibers? Fibers are the fundamental units or the building blocks used in the making of textile yarns and fabrics. It is the smallest visible unit of a textile product. So we can say it's a pliable hair-like strand that is very small in diameter in relation to its length. So here we can take example like your hair. When you pick one of your hair, the length as compared to the diameter, the length is longer as compared to the diameter. So that is the simplest explanation that I can give. That a fiber, it is the smallest visible unit of a textile product. And it's a pliable hair-like strand that is very small in diameter as compared to the length. So with all this, we can simply say that textile fiber is a unit of matter characterized by flexibility, fairness, strength, and high ratio of length to thickness. That is perfect definition of a textile fiber. So example, we have the cotton, flax, wool, silk, polyester, and we have many others. So textile fibers are classified into two main categories. We have the man-made fibers, we have the natural fibers. So the natural fibers are also subdivided into three. We have those we get from plants. In other words, vegetable or cellulosic fibers. Then those we get from animals. These are the protein fibers, or they are from the protein origin. Then the third one is the mineral fibers. The mineral fibers, we get them from rocks. So these form the natural fibers. The man-made fibers are also subdivided into two. You have the synthetic and regenerated fibers. So later you will learn about the differences. So this I have explained the fibers in the simplest form here. So the fibers are divided into two. So you can see the natural fibers and that of the man-made fibers. And the natural fibers are subdivided into three. So you have the cellulosic or vegetable fibers. Then you have protein or animal fibers. And we have the mineral fibers. And mineral fibers, I said, we get them from rocks. Example is asbestos. So when you take the cellulosic fibers, the cellulosic fibers are also subdivided into three. So we have bast or stem. So stem is the same as bast fibers. In example, we have the linen, we have the rami, we have jute, and we have hemp. Here, the linen fibers here is flax. We get them from flax. We get them from flax. Later, we shall discuss about that. Then we have seed fibers. The seed fibers, we have example, cotton, kapok, and quail. Quail, you get them from coconut fibers after you have peeled the coconut, the leftovers. Then we have the last one, that is the leaf fibers. Leaf, we have sisal, pinna, and manila. And when we take the animal fibers are also divided into two. Now the hair fibers, example, you have wool, mohair, cashmere, alpaca, and camel. Then you have filament fibers. Filament fibers, we have silk. Later you discuss about this. This one form the staple fibers, and this one the filament fibers. All the difference between staple fiber and filament fiber. The staple fibers are short in length, and filament fibers are long and continuous fibers. Later we shall learn more about it. When you come to man-made fibers, the man-made fibers are also subdivided into two. We have the regenerated fibers and we have synthetic fibers. The difference is that the synthetic fibers are purely combination of chemicals, and the regenerated fibers, the base material is from nature. Then we add chemicals and change the whole thing into a new one altogether. So example, we have those we can get from mineral. So when we add chemicals to the mineral fibers, we get a different fiber. Proteinic fibers, when we add chemicals to the protein fibers, we get a different fiber. And cellulosic, when we add chemicals to the plant fibers, we get a different fiber. Examples are, so the cellulosic one, we have rayon. And the rayon, we have different types. We have examples like viscose rayon, chromium rayon, acetate, triacetate. They all come under the cellulose, that's the plant fibers. Then with the synthetic fibers, we have those we get from polyester. We have the polyamide, polyurethane, polyurethane. Example, you have rubber and polyvinyl derivatives. So these are the fiber tree. So that is the main fibers, natural and man-made with their subdivisions. The same thing here. Okay, so we have textile, the examples. This one is the flax fiber. Example of the linen. Linen, we get linen from flax, as I said already. So this the fibers. Then we can also get some from banana or plantain. And get some from banana or plantain. These are stem fibers. Then when we come to cotton, cotton is a seed fiber. So you can see the seeds. So this one, the stem, this you use the stem to produce the fiber, the stem to produce the fiber, but this one you use the seed. So cotton is a seed fiber. And wool, the hair of fibers, the hair of animal. So we can also use that one to produce fiber. Then we have silk. Silk, we get silk from butterfly. Example, You get silk from butterfly. Then we have these are protein fibers. These are protein fibers, and these are plant fibers. So silk, wool. Then we have another example is the horse hair. We use them for producing fibers. Now, let's take cotton and discuss cotton in full. So this is an example of a cotton fiber. This example of a cotton fiber. So we get them from seeds from the cotton plant. Seed from the cotton plant. And they are staple in nature. Staple in the sense that they are short in length, and all natural fibers are staple fibers. So all natural fibers are short in nature, with the exception of silk. We shall discuss why silk is a natural fiber, but we are saying that all natural fibers are staple, and staple fibers are short, but with the exception of silk. Silk is very long, even though it's a natural fiber. So we consider silk as a filament fiber because of its length. So all natural fibers are staple fibers with the exception of silk. So we have flax, that is stem. So that is a pure example of a flax fiber. So you use the stem to produce the fiber. So animal fibers. So as I said, silk, we get silk from butterfly. So the silk will produce the eggs. The eggs will hatch into larvae or the caterpillar. Then the caterpillar will cover itself with its saliva, and it becomes like an egg. So, and it will be inside, as you can see here. So this is what we use to produce the fiber. So you can see them here. So the animals are inside. Inside this cotton. So when we kill the animal, then we can get the fiber to produce. Later, we shall take them one after the other and go into details. So we have another example, that is the wool. And the best wool is a merino sheep. You can see the animal standing there with plenty wool on the body. So we cut the wool and you use them in producing, you use the fibers in producing the yarn for the fabrics. An example of asbestos, you get them from rocks like this. Okay. So the synthetic, we have the nylon, the rayon, the tyrene, then we have the polyester. We shall take them, these are introductory to the discussion, so we shall take them one after the other. So the filament and staple fibers. What is a filament fiber? As I've already discussed. Filament fiber is the one that exists as long continuous fiber. The length ranges between hundreds and thousands of meters. So it's very long in length. It's very long in length. And any fiber which is very long is considered as filament. The staple fiber is the one that naturally exists in short length, ranging between few centimeters and meters. This one ranges between hundreds and thousands of meters. But as compared to the staple fiber, few centimeters and meters. So very short as your hair is an example. It must be noted that not all fibers are suitable for textile purposes unless they possess sufficient length, fineness, strength, and flexibility enough to be suitable for manufacture into a yarn. We have a lot of fibers, but can you use all these fibers to produce yarns? No. Some fibers, the best we can use them for is to produce brushes, doormats, and other, because they are not fine and they are not body friendly, and that we cannot use them to produce fabrics. So not all not all fibers can be used to produce fabrics. So let's see the classification of textile products. Textile product. Textiles can be classified by end use. So we have home textiles. What comes under home textiles? We have medical textile for medical purposes, textile for construction and geotextiles. We have textiles for agriculture, textiles for apparel, textiles for sports, and so many others. So home textiles. Which fibers or which textiles comes under home textiles? Home textiles are clothes and fabrics used as part of home furnishings. They make our lives more comfortable and give our interiors a defined aesthetic characteristics. For example, your clothes are not, for example, your clothes are not home textiles. Home textile products include floor coverings, beddings, towels, furniture, and clothing. I hope you understand that. So these are the home textiles. Then we have textiles for medical purposes. So medical textile refers to all textiles which are used for first aid, clinical, surgical, and hygienic purposes. These include products such as protective clothing, beddings, bandages, nose masks, plastics, gauze, and pads. These are medical products. Then we have textiles for agriculture. Agriculture textile products covers all the textile products from horticulture application to fishing and animal husbandry application. Example of agriculture textiles are jute sacks, as you can see here, fishing line, fishing nets, etc. Textile for sports. Applications of textiles for sports and leisure are extremely diverse, ranging from sports footwear to artificial turfs to parachute fabrics. For example, for sports, synthetic fibers and polymer coatings have largely replaced traditional cotton fabrics and other natural fibers. So we have textiles used for sports. It means that in everyday life, you can never separate textiles from anything. So in summary, uses of textile products: environmental control, soil coverings for erosion control, liners for ponds and lakes, hollow fibers for converting seawater to fresh water, liners for toxic waste disposal, and filters for smoke stocks. So everywhere, healthcare, disposal guns, and bed linings, uniforms for medical personnel, artificial organs and joints, human artery and vessel replacement, dresses and sashes for sewing together wounds and insertions. All these are textiles. Home, school, and office. We have sports and recreation. Textiles play a major role. So transportation, you use textiles. Space industry, you use textiles. Protective clothing against heat and radiation. For fire retardant clothing against molten metals of welders, we use textiles. Electronics, for communicating, signal transferring applications, we use textiles. Textiles is everywhere. Now, let's talk about the challenges our textile industries face. You see, our textile industry, the textile industries in Ghana are in the state of collapsing. Example is GTMC is no more. Japan Textiles, now Water Star, is also in the state of collapsing. Akosombo Textiles, now Akosombo Industrial Company Limited, is now looking for investor. The only textile industry which we can boast of is GTP and Prentice. Now our textile industries are nothing to write home about. And what are some of the challenges? They lack access to capital, automated form of production technology, piracy and smuggling, imported of second-hand clothing has collapsed the industry because now when you want to buy clothes, you just go to Kantamanto. And just some few cities, you get something, you dress up. Trade liberalization has caused the industry a whole lot for standardization standards. Now the whole world is looking for standards. In our textile industry, we cannot compare our product to outside or to offshore because offshore go with standards. So when you want to buy anything, you're supposed to show your standards before you can join the global business. And here is the case, our textile industries, even though they are doing it, but they've not registered globally. And that's doing marketing their products in the global market becomes a problem unless the global people order them to produce and send it to them. Attitude of Ghanaians is also another. We are not proud of our own products. So how can we solve these problems? The financial institutions need to support our industry. Technology, we need to upgrade it. Outmoded machines, we need to replace them. And the law enforcement agencies should help the textile industries so that textile coming in from outside, they should tax them in such a way that those will be somehow, the price will go high as compared to ours. But because they are allowing cheap ones inside, if I want to buy anything and any fabric, because the Ghanaian textiles go through a whole lot of processes, they are very good products, and that they are very expensive. Those coming from outside are not good enough, but that is what we want. So you go and buy the cheap ones. If you don't take care, because they are not washed very well, you corrode your skin, you get skin cancer. And this we are supposed to communicate to our members. That is where the standards comes in. Review taxation policy. Government should review the taxation policy. Those clothing coming in should be taxed high. strategic competitiveness of the firms. We need to be competitive. Standardization of product and processes. We need to standardize our products, and promotion of made in Ghana goods. We are supposed to promote our own made in Ghana goods and feel proud when we wear them. Let's move on to characteristics of textile fibers, or the properties. Properties of fibers influence the yarns and fabric they produce. The choice of a fabric for a purpose is influenced by the properties of the fiber. These properties include textile strength and tenacity, or tenacity. When you are going to buy any fabric for any purpose, for you to be able to select the best fabric, you need to know the properties inherent in that particular fabric. Not all textiles can be used for anything. We have textile for specific purposes. So one property that you're supposed to consider is tensile strength, or the tenacity. If we talk of tensile strength or tenacity, we are talking about the strength of textile fiber. It's referred to the strength. We are talking about the strength of the textile fiber. The tenacity, how strong the fiber is. If the fiber is not strong and you use it, it cannot be used for all purposes, because certain fabrics, you need stronger hot fibers. So tensile strength or tenacity, it is the ability of a fiber to resist break, strain, or rupture when subjected to stress, like the fabrics you wear. If they are not strong and you bend, what will happen? So that's the reason why you cannot wear paper, because paper is not strong. We use waste materials from cotton, the leftovers, to produce the paper. So they are not strong. When you wear paper, you bend, it will tear. So the textile fiber must be hot, very strong, when you want to use it to produce proper fabrics. Flexibility and pliability. Textile fibers must be very flexible and pliable. So it is the ability of a fiber to bend without breaking. Also, when you wear the fabric and you bend, it will break. So the fibers must be flexible so that it will be body friendly and pliable, so that we can use them for so many things. Cohesiveness and spinning quality. It is the ability of fiber to stick together properly during yarn manufacturing process. If the fibers are bristle, you cannot come together for you to put them into hot and trace them into yarns. The fibers must have spinning quality, the cohesiveness, ability to stick together with one another, so that we can spin or trace them into yarns. They must have moisture regain or absorbency. The ability of a bone-dry fiber to absorb moisture is called moisture regain. If you wear the fabrics and you sweat, and the fabric cannot absorb, it is not a good fiber. So the fibers must have that absorbency property, so that when you wear them, they can absorb the sweats. Comparing yourself wearing rubber and you walk in the hot sun, what will happen to you? That is the reason why you use them for raincoats, but you cannot use them for normal life. Elasticity, it is the ability of stretched material to return immediately to its original size. Elasticity of a fiber determines the stretchability of the fabric and the extent of deformation. When the fiber is not able to stretch, Like you wear your fabric, you can bend, and the fabric will be very comfortable on you. You get up, it is very straight on you. That is the elasticity we are talking about here. It is not the elastic that is inside it, but the ability of the fiber to bend, help you to bend. You stand up, nothing happens. It will not bulge at your buttocks when you bend. When you get up, it's very nice on you. That is what we are talking about as elasticity. Then resiliency refers to the ability of a fiber to come back to its original position after being creased or folded. So example is your foam or vinyl mattress. When you sit on it, it will just, you just what? You just press it down. But as soon as you get up, it will bounce back. That is a good fiber. That when you sit and remain the same thing, that one is not considered as a good fiber. Then abrasion resistant. The wearing away of a material by rubbing against one another surface is called abrasion. Like you wear your trousers rub against each other. Your shirts, you rub it against your armpit. So if you rub it, you are able to move without tearing. It means that the fiber is having abrasion. Abrasion resistance is the ability of a fiber to withstand rubbing or abrasion in everyday use. Important properties of fibers. The following are the important properties of fibers. Fiber properties help us to identify the individual fibers. They provide manufacturers with information on how to handle them during production. The fiber properties also determine what type of textile products that can be used. The cost of the finished product is much dependent on the fiber properties. Fiber properties play an important role in the textile production process. Fiber properties help in the blending of fibers for a more efficient outcomes for the production of different products. Thermal characteristics of fibers are important in their use and care, like washing, drying, and ironing. Fiber properties help to understand the fiber, in turn, how to handle the finished products made out of it. To this end, you will continue another time. Thank you. See you another time.